Who gonna finish in the top 6? Gut feeling says Arsenal, and again Leicester are gonna come 5th. So we gotta travel further up north, cause I think Liverpool's gonna come 4th. United, Chelsea 2nd and 3rd. Man City's just moving absurd. Woo! Who's gonna finish in the top 6? Gut feeling says Arsenal, and again Leicester's gonna come 5th. So we gotta travel further up north, cause I think Liverpool's gonna come 4th. United, Chelsea 2nd and 3rd. Man City's just moving absurd. They want Kane in the team if you ain't heard. That's goals and goals in the final third. That's goals and goals in the final third. That's a goals and goals in the final third. What? Yo, this is the OT99 Banter Room where opinions are shared and smoke gets served. Look, we're back again with another show. It's your boy Therms, and I'm joined here today by NK, and today we are going to talk about the latest news that's been buzzing around the transfer window. And you know what? We've got to talk about Man United. That's what we're here for, but we also got to talk about the latest news that broke out with Messi. But before we get onto that, we'll talk about other transfer-related news. So there's one more signing. Who could that be for Manchester United? We're also going to talk about our upcoming fixture, which is happening this week, thankfully. Well, next week, should I say, the weekend. And then we'll talk about, you know, what you think our lineup will be, what the scoreline may be. And, you know, everyone's talking right now about, you know, how's the season going to finish just before it started? So where are we going to finish in the table at the end of the season? Are we going to lift trophies? Look, we'll get into all of that. But first of all, let us start with one interesting thing that I read today. And that was from Sky Sports. So, what do you call it? So a reporter from Sky Sports came out and said, I'll read it because I've got it in my notes here. Borussia Dortmund would prefer to sell Erling Haaland to the Premier League or La Liga instead of to rivals like Bayern Munich. Haaland is dreaming of the Premier League. Look, when I read that, I can't lie to you, I was just like, you know, it's always the thing in the back of your mind when you're thinking it, that, you know, you're seeing all of these teams get the strikers. There's not many top world-class strikers out there. And you're thinking, oh man, I wish we could be in this conversation. But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, this guy is still available. He's still at Dortmund. He could end up coming to Manchester United. And then when this news broke out, yeah, obviously you weren't referenced to Man United like directly, but I couldn't help but think, you know, where else would this guy end up? I mean, I just don't know. So what's your thoughts on it? Do you feel like Manchester United has got a chance of getting Erling Haaland next season?
Oh yeah, we always have a chance. You know, we always have a chance because United is a place where a lot of players want to come and play. But I think people are getting this idea that obviously now Chelsea has bought Lukaku. It look like maybe came out end up at Man City. So I think a lot of people are just making it look like it's kind of like a walk in the park for United to kind of like get this deal, because the clubs that are linked to right now, we are probably the ones that you say we can offer more money to Haaland when it comes to that. Yeah. And I feel like that's where we are wrong to say too. Barcelona just lost Messi, and you know, I don't know what's going to happen this season, but their fan base will just want to just replace it with someone else. And you talking about Haaland is not going to cost a lot of money. He's going to cost, what, 70 million? I think that's what they're talking about anyway. So every club that can activate it can speak to them. So it's up to the club to just convince them about the project. Yeah. Yes, the wages are going to be a key factor too, but these players, at the end of the day, they want to go win. You know, if it wasn't about the what do you call it, if it was about the money, a lot of them are going to be ended up in like Dubai or whatever it is, because we know the money is there. It's going to be about where he can go, not only to win the league, but also have a chance to win the Champions League. So yeah, United can offer more money, but bro, let's make top 4 first, yeah, and then we can talk. Let's make top 4, but let's win a trophy first, because you cannot have all these players, no win nothing, and just say, hey, you know, Haaland come here, I'm going to win stuff too. And if we don't do well too, there's going to be so much pressure on Oli. And last time I was reading, one of the main reasons why they said it didn't come, because I read a quote from Haaland dad. Haaland dad is, we did not want to go to a club because the manager only wants him. Because what happened if the manager gets sacked? Then what happened to the player? Because when Oli wanted him, there was a lot of rumors that Oli might lose his job, you know. And I felt at that time they were not confident whether because he wasn't that much of a bigger star. So they say, okay, well, if only buy him and he goes there and a new manager come in, they don't like him. I know that's not going to be the case right now too, but I feel like we need to sort this season out before we can even think about Haaland, because these players are ambitious. They want to win stuff. There's a reason why we're not linked to Mbappe, because the way he's ambitious, we can't provide him that ambition just yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a point. I feel like obviously how we perform this season will have an impact. Whether it's a big impact or a small impact, I don't know, but will have an impact on sort of Haaland's thinking and his decision making in terms of his next sort of destination when he moves. So that's key for sure. But I can't help but think, because there's ties there. He's got a history of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There's that link with Jadon Sancho, and he's come out and he's made it openly clear that he was upset that Jadon Sancho left, and they had sort of a unique sort of relationship at Dortmund, and now he's over at Manchester United. And for me, when I try to deep all of the options that could potentially be there for Haaland next season, he will have every team in the world interested for him. And like you said, the buyout clause is about 70 million, roughly. So it makes it more attainable for various different clubs. And the clubs that come to mind is obviously like Bayern Munich, because they just, when it comes to German players, even though he's not German, but he's in a German league, it just, for some reason, right, some sort of magnetic force with the stars in that German Bundesliga going to them. And then you've got your what it was Chelsea and City. Currently Chelsea's out of that loop, but you've got City still trying to sort out what they're trying to do with their striker. So for now, I'll keep them in a loop, even though it does seem like they're closing in on Harry Kane. And then you got, I could never rule out PSG, because a club with all that money and financial fair play doesn't seem to be in existence, but they can always potentially be in the loop. And then you come to the Premier League and you look at the likes of, there's Juve. Juve they like to do business here and there. Inter might be in, actually Inter's kind of struggling with money, so I kind of ruled them out for now. And then you look at the Premier League, and then you've got Liverpool. They'll have to sell one of their top three, their front three. Then you've got Manchester United, who looks like we're going to have a vacancy open once Cavani leaves. I can't help but think that out of all of those teams that I mentioned, the teams that really look like they could be front pole is Manchester United, one of them, and potentially Bayern Munich, the second one.
Yeah, no, bro, I'll put Bayern Munich ahead of us. I'll literally put up with me. You know what? Me personally, the way things are going, I really feel like United will end up next season with Lewandowski in our team more than Haaland. I really feel like, because he's ready to leave Bayern Munich. I feel like this is going to be his last season. And if Bayern Munich are talking about getting Haaland, it means Lewandowski is leaving. Maybe he might end up going to Italy. Maybe he might end up in Spain. Who never knows? But I feel like if United put in a good proposal, just like how they did with Cavani, they will end up interested, because he's going to be a goal scorer too. Yeah. I would not rule about that Haaland deal. I don't know. I don't see us as favorite. Let me just say that I don't see us as favorite. I see Bayern Munich as favorite. I really do, because I think it's easy for them to sell it. They will have the money to get a clause. I feel like in terms of like wages, so they can agree something too, and they go a good way of selling it to him too. Look, one of those things, whoever want to get this deal done, you need to get it closed in January. And Bayern Munich, when Bayern Munich competes with players, bro, by January they will announce that Erling Haaland is coming to Bayern Munich. They get their business done. They probably started right now, where United are going to be waiting for next summer, just going and pay like 20 million first with the add-ons. Bayern Munich will go there, ask Dortmund, hey, we're going to activate it here, and then just start doing their homework. Bro, I don't know, but I'll put Bayern Munich first. We are in a conversation, don't get me wrong, but we're not favorite, that's for sure.
See, the difference is if this is true, so it's a caveat that he really wants to play in the Premier League, because it said in Sky Sports that he dreams. So it's stronger than just saying, that's a nice league, like I like to play there. And I know a lot of players say, yeah, I like to play in the Premier League. It's one of the best leagues in the world, or is the best league in the world. When I heard that emphasis and they put that quotation there of he dreams of playing in the Premier League, and this is all hinging on the fact that he's looking at the Premier League as being his priority next move, then obviously you can't include Bayern Munich. Because if that's what he dreams of doing, maybe it may not be now though. That's the difference, because where it says dreams, it doesn't mean that he dreams like his next move's going to be the Premier League, because he's still young. Do you know what I mean? It could be 5 years.
Right. Right. And you know what? All these final rumors. He says his dream of it. I ain't heard Haaland himself open his mouth and say, this is some sort of saying like, his dream there. Bro, I'm just telling you, to be honest with you, I just really want to focus on the season, because it's just too early. The transfer window hasn't even closed. Like a few weeks ago, Chelsea were seriously trying to, like, if Chelsea did have the money, he would go there. Look,
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like the transfer fee is not that much of a bigger deal, and a lot of clubs can get that kind of money from somewhere to do that. So it's more about convincing them with a project, and part of our project this season is to get somewhere too. So I don't know. I feel like he is going to be on our list. We're going to try to do everything to sign him. Whether that's going to be enough or not, I am not sure just yet, But whoever get him have to convince him that, hey, you know what, I want you, so that they can just literally negotiate with Dortmund, like how we just negotiated for Sancho. There has to be some kind of like agreement with that.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm partly worried about the transfer dealings that Chelsea and City is going to be doing, but in the same breath, you can't say that we don't do good with rivalry or competition. So if they don't go on and get these signings like Lukaku and City with Kane, then it's gonna be an issue if he really does come to the Premier League. But I agree with you. I feel like what we do need to do now, it seems like we've done a majority of our business, especially the key business. Focus, shut up shop, focus on the league. And what's worrying is, we've got a game against Leeds. That's our first game of the season this weekend. And I've been looking at our pre-season sort of preparations, and it hasn't looked too good. I mean, we've had four games that were scheduled, and I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, if they've had any indoor games, but we've had 4 games that were scheduled. I think it was QPR on that list, Everton on that list, who we annihilated. Who else was on that list? Was Derby on that list? I feel like there was 2 others.
Yeah, that was the first game. Yeah,
Derby, and then I can't remember.
Preston was there, but Preston got cancelled.
Was it Preston that got cancelled?
Yeah, Preston got cancelled. So we played Derby, and after Derby, we beat Derby. We lost to QPR. We drew with Brentford. We're supposed to play Preston, but Preston got cancelled. And then our last game was against Everton, which we comfortably won. And that was the first game that the senior players literally had.
And it was light work. I was encouraged by that Everton game, because it wasn't nice seeing our team concede and lose games and friendlies, even though people say, it's just for fitness and stuff. It just wasn't encouraging. But I think the thing that worries me is I've looked at our preseason, and I was getting vibes of the preseason last year, where we didn't have an appropriate preseason. We didn't get enough. We didn't even have a preseason, to be fair, because the season was manic, and then we went straight from that right back into the season. And you saw, obviously, it had an impact on us with Crystal Palace, with Aston Villa, etc. With who else with it? Brighton, where we just narrowly got that win after the 90 minutes. I think Southampton or something like that. We just got Tottenham. We got tortured, and I was thinking, going into this season, at least, everyone's in the same level, Euros or whatever like that. Come back, get everyone back in early, get in your 5 games, and then COVID strikes and all of these things happen with us. And it was just like, are we going to be repeating ourselves all over again? Because if you look at Liverpool's pre-season, they had 8 games. 8 games in their pre-season.
And they had all their full squad for most of the games too. They had most of squad for most of the games.
And I was looking at some of Chelsea's games and pre-season, and you see like a lot of the first team members back.
Yeah, Janino, who won the cup. Most of the Chelsea star players I saw, even like the German guys, most of them have had 3 preseason games now. They have had 3, and they played yesterday too. So that was another preseason game for them too.
Bro, this is what I mean. Very competitive game. And you're looking at it like, wait, you've got teams like Liverpool that can squeeze in 8 preseason games. You've got teams that haven't even squeezed in that many preseason games, but are playing with a majority of their first team squad. A lot of Chelsea, for example, Liverpool, whatever, would have been affected by the Euros, would have been affected by all of this, like, and it just seems like when it comes to our team, all you're seeing is guys that are fringe. Most of them are like fringe players that should be moving on, guys that is going to be holding bench when the season starts. And it's just like, how do you expect to go against a team like Leeds, high tempo, when you haven't had a good preseason?
Bro, and you know what? That was one of the things that shocked me the most too, Look, let's just say basically they had one game to get fit. But even that game, Bruno took Bruno off too early. I don't know if Bruno went off at halftime or so. Well, that guy hasn't had much fitness. Let him have a full 90 minutes. Like, one of the shocking ones here of all of them was bringing James Gardner on and then shifting Pogba to the wings or whatever he shipped Pogba to when Pogba came on the second half, and then he shipped Pogba from midfield to the wings or whatever it is. Why is James Gardner getting minutes? Literally. He ain't gonna play. So why? And then he's been there from the beginning of preseason. So he has had like 2 free games anyway. But me and you both know that that guy ain't gonna start against Leeds. He's not gonna be on the bench. So why did he have to come in? Tuanzebe. We knew he was going on loan at Aston Villa even before that game. So why give him minutes? Literally. Maguire and bring it out there. Let them play at least like 80th minute or so. Let them get their match fitness. And then you put Tuanzebe in the game, who has been having preseason. Literally. He played all those games there. Mostly like 90 minutes or so. So he is fit. You give him another 30 minutes. And then the next day ship him on loan to Aston Villa. Say, hey, you know what? We were preparing him for you. It don't make sense. None of our guys got minutes, bro. None of our guys got minutes. Like, it was the only game they were going to have. The least you could have done is play them at least like 80th minute. See how Martial was awful. For example, you can tell he need match fitness. Martial always need match fitness after injury. Play him for 45 minutes and then left him on and bring Pereira. What's Pereira going to do for us? So the preseason has been shambles, bro, man. And you know what? On top of that too, like, one of the things that even annoyed me about, bro, Chelsea agreed a deal for Lukaku last weekend, like this weekend gone. Today, just right before we done this, they have officially announced him. We are still waiting for Varane to be announced. And we agreed a deal for him, almost like 3 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago, because we done that
about 2 weeks ago, and then something to do with the contract. Same thing is something to do with contract with Sancho too. Same thing too, something to do with contract. Look, everybody feel like, Varane and Sancho are going to be definitely be in the Leeds team. Now you just here thinking like, oh God, Varane ain't going to play. And if you drop like 3 points, you just never know how the season is going to go. I told you, to beat City, you got to be grateful the whole season. Yeah. Cavani is still having an extended break, so he's not going to be here. Whatever that's about, I don't know. It's just too much like disorganized preseason, and I don't even know how the season is going to start for us, to be honest.
I mean, it's crucial, man. I personally feel like the start of the season is crucial. This team that United fans are getting, happy about or excited about is a team that's probably not going to be starting or altogether for a number of weeks. You've got Cavani that had an extended sort of leave to see his family and stuff like that. You've got people like Pogba, I don't know why, and Sancho and all of these guys, especially with France, why it took so long for him to come back in after France got knocked out way before England. You know what I mean? I just feel like people Oli looked at these guys, had a discussion with them. Them lot was like, Oli, can I get like an extra week here because I need to do X, Y, and Z? And he's just like, that's fine, it's okay. Pre-season means nothing. We'll keep you happy, Pogba. After all, we want you to sign a new contract. Sancho as well. I mean, he came back with Rashford, yet Rashford was there getting his surgery and doing what he needed to do. Sancho was nowhere to be seen. Luckily, he's back in now. Maybe he's got a shout of starting against Leeds. But for some reason, it doesn't seem like our team has that sort of discipline, has that sort of old school hunger mentality where look, your holiday's done, mate. Just get back. Like, we've got a job to do. You've got a challenge for the Premier League. You know what I mean?
Why? You know, and I had this feel like Richardson. Bro, guy playing Copa America, playing the Olympics, and I hear my guy's back in Everton training. He said, you know what, on holiday. What player in United is going to say that? What player in United is going to say that, you know, I'm not going on holiday, I'm coming? Oh, he is back on training. Yes, maybe it might catch up to him as the season go along, but Everton are not in Europe, so he can rest as time goes on anyways, you know. Well, Cavani, yes, he just had a new baby and he just needed time and everything just like that too. But sometimes you got to put a club first. You got to put a club first. Yes, given the standard, Cavani ain't going to be ready for another 3 weeks or so. He's not going to be ready for another 3 weeks or so. Because he's going to have to come. He's going to have to get his match sharpness on and everything. Just last season, we done the same thing. By the time he started to play, but we were already struggling for points. You know, bro, just watch the Leeds game. We must scrap and get something out of it. I don't know. But the first thing Leeds are going to do is target Lindelof. They're going to target Lindelof too. They're going to go there and target Lindelof too. But I don't know. The whole preparation, I was excited like a few weeks ago because we had our transfer deals done, but we're just going into the beginning of the season and I just feel like we're going to see the same problem that we saw last season. Maybe we might scrap a victory, maybe we're not. But, bro, I'm just telling you, we might not be happy with the lineup when it comes out. We just won't be happy with it.
So you touched on it nicely. So tell me then, what's your thoughts on the lineup? Because obviously I feel like the Everton game was a precursor for us to see what's going to happen with, Ollie's decision making on the day. And obviously it's probably down to not about stars or quality names or anything like that. It's just down to right about now fitness. Like, who's played enough pre-season, who's match sharp, especially against a team like Leeds. And that's probably going to be the deciding factor for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's decision making. But we never know. There could be an odd surprise here and there. But what's your thoughts on the lineup against Leeds?
When it comes to, in terms of like fitness and obviously like the form of players like that, I could tell you what the first line is going to be. But I don't know. Ole does this thing where he picks certain players for a certain game. Look, if something in me just tell me that Daniel James might start. I don't know why, but something just tell me that Daniel James might start. Something, and I don't see how Ole leave McTominay out when that guy scored 2 goals against Leeds last season. I don't see how he leave McTominay out. I really don't see how he leave McTominay out. Van der Beek, will he start? I don't think so. Personally, I feel like it might be. I don't know, bro. I don't know, but in terms of my lineup, I feel like the goalkeeper is going to be De Gea, going to be there. Left back with Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, and Arbasaka. Back four is going to be the same. You know, it's the middle bit that's what the problem is. You know, I think Matic should start. I'll be surprised if Matic don't start because, bro, he had more preseason than all these guys too, and against Everton too, he was one of our best players on the pitch. So personally, I felt like he should start too. And then the question is, who's going to play next to him? Now, do you start with Pogba or do you start with Van der Beek? I'll be surprised if Pogba don't start, because if you don't start Pogba, then why are you trying to keep him? Why are you not selling him if he's not going to be on your plans there? Because I don't care if Bruno is match fit or not. Bruno start that game because he's the best that we got. So if Pogba don't start that game, it just shows you that he's not part of our plans and they made a mistake keeping him. So personally, I will go with Matic and Pogba in the middle, Bruno number 10, and then up top, I don't know, but I hope it's Greenwood, Sancho, and Martial. I hope it's that, but something just tell me that it might be Daniel James. I don't know. Daniel James and McTominay, I feel like they might just sneak themselves into that lineup. That's my only two that I'm not sure about.
See, I think that you got a lot of them spot on. I think the only places where I'll differ, so the back four I think is certified. So obviously the goalkeeper is certified because Henderson, I don't know where he is with his fitness level. So the guy is there. The back four is the same.
He ain't training yet. Yeah, he's still ain't training yet. So he just out of the question.
Do you know what I mean? The back four with Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, both of the fullbacks, and then Lindelof, Maguire. That again is certain because of what's happened with the whole Varane situation. There could be a surprise there, but I doubt it very much. So he probably might be on the bench, and that'll be everyone's surprise. And then, the midfield bit, like you said, I feel like Matic has been getting a few pre-seasons in, and Donny van de Beek's been getting a few pre-seasons in. But the difference is that I feel like Pogba's going to play, and I feel like Bruno's going to play. And if they both play, then you're going to need a Matic, a Scott McTominay or Fred. And I haven't seen any of them really getting that many. I haven't seen any of them, Fred and Scott McTominay.
Yeah, McTominay being like, that was the one thing that shocked me, because McTominay didn't even start the second half of that game. He came on with like 20 minutes to go, and when he came on, he was playing centre backs while Gardner was playing in the middle. Like, I'm thinking, what is going on here? Like, why is he playing centre back? I don't know. The whole thing just shocked me. So that's why I'll be shocked if he starts, because normally with the way Leeds like to run, their work rate is just superb. So you'll feel like you want midfielders that can run. Like, Pogba is not the best guy. It's not like work rate on the pitch, So you feel like you need people like work rate. That's why I feel like both McTominay and James got a chance of playing. If Lindegaard was probably like fake, I'd probably see him starting ahead of Sancho too, but he's injured too. But I know those two guys are just... that's the only thing I'm not sure.
What you said about Scott McTominay going centre back and James Garner going in midfield, that only shows me that Man United still trying to suss out, using the opportunity to suss out whether they need to go in for another DM or holding midfielder, or whether Garner can do the thing. So they're trying to maybe suss it out in that odd 1 or 2 games. For me, if he had a worldie of a game, would we be hearing in the news today that, Garner's staying, do you know what I mean? That he's not going out on loan. I feel like we probably would be. But it's because Garner didn't set the world ablaze in that game. We haven't really heard anything. But for me, I feel like, Matic is probably going to get in with a shout. I don't think we're going to see Scott McTominay or Fred starting in that game. I feel like at best, we might see Scott McTominay come off bench. And then up top, we're going to be looking at... this one's interesting because I do think it'll be Greenwood on the right, Dan James on the left, and Martial up top. I do think that will be the three. I feel like Sancho, he's been training, he's been getting a few minutes under his belt and that, like in training and stuff, but I do feel like he's going to be a guy that potentially comes off the bench. I don't think he's...
Yeah, but I know that, but it depends on training. He has had like a week training now. I mean, but if that guy go training, he start putting through passing and everything just like that, you start him, first game there, the fans are there, just get the blood pumping, man. What's he going to do from the bench, bro? Just put him on there.
Because we're playing against Leeds, and I think when you mentioned Dan James, I automatically thought you've got a point, because you're playing against teams, right? Like playing against a team like Leeds who's attacking, start to finish. Do you know what I mean? High tempo, fitness. Dan James has got the legs. He can run full 90 minutes. He's more defensive as well with tracking back. And Leeds will leave the game exposed for Dan James to be running into like spaces and behind. And Sancho, yes, he's a guy that could be dominating that game. But you're thinking if you're going to start any player for the first game against Leeds, he's been getting in the minutes, it would be someone like Dan James. And Sancho is just like, I feel like, I could be wrong. I would love to see.
I don't know. It's gonna tell us what they call on Saturday, what our ambitions are come the beginning of the season. Because if you are starting, Daniel James, it just shows you that this manager is still gonna do what we do last season too, which is defensive and protect the lead. And you want to win the league, you got to get almost like 95 points, I'm saying. And being cautious ain't going to get you those points. Being cautious ain't going to get you those points. That's what I'm saying. Stop playing to teams like that. Let teams come and adjust to us. Let's stop adjusting to teams, And that's our City will never say, hey, Leeds got a work rate, so let me know. Play Jack Wilshere and play someone who can track back. City ain't never gonna do that. It's more like Leeds are gonna come and say, hey, City play like this, so we need to adjust our game to kind of like see them. But anyway, we'll see. But I have this strong feeling that James and McTominay by start, but we'll see anyway. We'll see.
Scoreline?
I think I don't see us keeping a clean sheet, that's for sure, because it's the same back line, so definitely not keeping a clean sheet. And because we are not fit, game is gonna be a first half kind of like game, And I just see, because of the fans, they just are scraping for a 2-1 win.
See, I can see Man United getting a victory. I mean, the first game we smashed them, isn't it? Like, what was it, 6-1 or something like that? Something crazy.
Yeah.
Or 6-2 or something crazy like that. And then the second leg, it was 0-0. They man-marked every single one of our players, and we didn't even have to free them to do anything. I feel like maybe they'll be thinking they can like get the victory because of our preseason, maybe catch us off guard. First game of the season, we're not in full swing. So I feel like they are going to go for it. And I don't think we're going to concede a goal. I really don't think we're going to concede a goal. I feel like our defense is solid. Lindelof had a decent Euros. He's not special, but you can appreciate that he is just a decent defender that just keeps it calm. And then you've got Maguire, who's just been on smoke. Shaw, who's been on smoke. But I can see us keeping a clean sheet as long as...
You must have known what they ever thinking. The way they must be attacking second half, well, it was even by chance we kept a clean sheet. The thing about United is with Lindelof and Maguire playing, and obviously if we're not going to play Fred and McTominay to protect them, it means that they're going to be faced with a lot of like chances there, because the way Leeds be running and stuff like that. And if we start with Matic and Pogba there, bro, that midfield's going to be our run. But I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I really don't. It will be a shock if we keep a clean sheet. I know that for a fact. It will be a shock if United keep a clean sheet.
Look, for me, I say we get a 1-0 and we go home. That's my prediction. 1-0 and we go home. We'll be like happy. Sancho comes off the bench. He changes the dynamics of the game. Not necessarily that he scores or even gets an assist, but him coming on the team uplifts the team. And then we go on to get a goal. It could be from Martial, it could be a Bruno assist. But I say we go on to get that 1-0. Man United's, happy, 3 points down the line, and we're back in OT 99 talking about the match review. You get me?
Well, the thing is, realistically, by what do you call it? Saturday before the 3 o'clock kickoff, I expect United to be on top. Because Arsenal playing Brentford, then well, I told you Arsenal are going to draw that game, and we are going to be the second match, because I think our game is at 12:30 London time.
Yeah,
12:30. So we're going to be the second team to kick off after Arsenal too. So I expect us to be on top before 3 o'clock. So I expect us to be on top. If United are on top, bro, just know that just kiss the leg goodbye already.
Do you know what the funniest thing is this? Like, Leeds is a big rival team for us. Not anymore, like to competitive wise, but they're big. Historically, they're a big rival team. And we're playing at home. The first game of the season. I feel like, if anything, our fans are going to have a lot to do with the outcome of that result as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're playing at home. That extra lift, that extra boost that we need, our fans are hopefully going to give it to us. You know what I mean? Because it's not a normal game. It really is. It's the first game of the season and they're rivals. Man, look, we're going to win.
It's because of the fans. That's why I gave us a 2-1 win, because I feel like the second goal is going to be scored by the fans, not by us, per se. But if the fans wasn't there, I would have gone for a 1-1 draw. But because of the fans, I feel like because of the fans, we will be enough to just. I won't be surprised if we go 2-0 up and then they get like a goal back in the second half or something like that when we start getting like tired legs and everything. But yeah, definitely. I don't know. That game go 2-1 written all over it. We'll see.
Jeez, come on, we'll see, man. Positive vibes. Look, everyone's talking about this. and I want to talk about it as well. So, before the season's even started, what are your top 4 predictions? Starting from 4th place, working your way up. Naturally, let's make it different. Start from 6th place and work your way up to the top. How do you see the season ending?
I think
6th spot.
6 spots. See, the 6 spots, it to me is between Tottenham and Aston Villa. Because if Tottenham keep Kane, they'll get the 6 spots easily. If they don't keep Tottenham Kane, depending on who they're gonna get. But I was surprised they didn't get Danny Ings, man. I was really, really surprised they didn't get Danny Ings, because that guy's a goal scorer. If you're gonna leave Kane out, well, he was just like the perfect replacement to kind of replace him too. And I think Villa got a guy who can score goals too. I know they got Greenish too, but I don't think they're gonna lose too much out of that. But yeah, I don't know. If Kane stays, Tottenham gets 6. If he goes, then I'll give it to Aston Villa 6 place.
6, yeah? Aston Villa going for 6. Who's getting 5th?
It's the guys that they always get 5th. And that's no other than Leicester City. Leicester is born to be 5th, bro. Leicester is just born to be 5th, bro, man. I feel like Rodgers has hit his ceiling with Leicester. You know how traditionally they always kind of like go to the top and then they kind of like slide down. I feel like this time it's going to be more of a struggle of them actually making their way from the bottom to try to get like that 5th place. I don't think they're going to go up and then make their way down. I feel like it's going to be the other way around, where they're going to be in between like 7th, 6th, and then eventually like nick 5th place.
So wait, you actually said 6th and you said 5th, and I haven't heard Arsenal and I haven't heard North London in any of that conversation. That's mad,
bro. Look, Arsenal gonna sack their manager before Christmas. Arteta is gonna go before Christmas. Like, oh yeah, he's gonna go before Christmas. Like, I've watched their preseason games. I was watching when they played against Tottenham. Kane wasn't playing. Arsenal are struggling to get goals, bro. They are struggling to get goals, and Aubameyang don't seem to be scoring for them. He don't seem to be scoring for them. They don't have the best creative of guy. I've seen them panicking in the next like 2 weeks or so, trying to get players in, but unfortunately, they're not going to get the good kind of like quality. And one injury in that team, and they're done out here, man. That's not even making the top 6. That's a fact, bro. They're not making the top 6.
Okay, let's go. Who's your? So you said Villa for 6. You said. I said
Villa for 6 if Tottenham don't sell Kane. If Tottenham keep Kane, then Tottenham will get 6th place. So yeah. But at the moment, right now, since Kane is still Tottenham player, I'll give Tottenham 6th place. I'll give 5th place to Leicester. Leicester 5th. I was impressed with Leicester in the FA Cup. Really, really impressed with them. But I don't know. I just feel like they're just missing something that's just not going to be enough for the top 4.
What's your 4th spot going to then? Who's your 4th spot going to?
You know, this is what I've been struggling with, because I had 2 teams for that kind of a spot. And to me, the 4th spot is between... I'm not even going to give it away, because if I give away, then I'm going to give away who's going to be 3rd place. So I'll give 4th spot to Liverpool. I'll give 4th spot to like Liverpool to make the top 4. Like, they're not a team that they used to be no more. Liverpool have always relied on that energetic kind of like midfield, and unfortunately they lost Gini to PSG, so that's a big loss to Thiago. He's good there, but I don't know, he just doesn't have the same kind of like energy in that midfield too. And their attack too, Mane, I feel like Mane has never been a goal scorer, you know, and they rely on all the attacking front chipping goals. And unfortunately, I don't see Mane scoring that many goals, because last season he had a very poor season. Last season for Mane standard too.
He's not a natural like guy that will get you 50
the goals,
20 goals, whatever, season in season.
Yeah, he's not that kind of like guy. And on top of that, too, they're gonna miss him for another month too. So that kind of like ghost is gonna go stay too. Salah body language with Liverpool just doesn't seem to be okay. He had this thing where he wanted to go to the Olympics. They blocked him, and I'm hearing they're going to be negotiating for his new contract too around this season to kind of like extend it. I see that being a very distracting for him too. Don't get me wrong, he's still going to score the goals, but it's not going to be enough as it should too. And then there's Firmino who doesn't score. Jota is going to be, I feel like with the attack, he's going to be the guy that you want to watch out for. To be honest, if you play fantasy football, I'll put Jota into my team because he's always the guy that get you the goals. So, yeah, they will be there, but I don't see them doing the highest they'll probably get is third place. Third place. I don't see them doing anything better than
on
third
that
or fourth.
On the Jota thing and the fantasy football. So yeah, I played around with adding him to my team. He's a good price as well. It's just with Klopp, he just getting sidetracked here, but he just doesn't. He always brings him off the bench. I'd rather him just say, you know what, you're starting. It's always a tussle between maybe him and Firmino. Sometimes, he was playing in the midfield. I just don't know what quite the setup.
Yeah, but last season, at the beginning of the season, he was the guy dragging Liverpool.
He wasn't
none of that guy. He was the guy that dragging Liverpool. And the minute he got injured, they fell off because last season Liverpool were not even bad defensively. People make it look like they were bad defensively. They were not bad defensively, even with all their injuries too. We conceded more goals than Liverpool last season.
Yeah, their defense was really good. They will only concede maximum one on average a game.
Right. It was the attack, bro. And Jota was injured for most part of the thing too. So they also got goal scoring problems, just like Arsenal do, but they just got like experience, like backline that would just kind of like see them through a lot of games. And I feel like teams are still worked out how they play too. And Robinson missing the first part of the game too, that's key too, because Milner, he's good enough, but he's old, man. He ain't gonna be getting you that way from the crossing. That's kind of because Liverpool, the way they play is through their wing backs, Trent and Robinson, they were one of the key guys whipping the cross, but they're whipping like 20 crosses in a game. And that's what that 20 crosses, three will connect and they will score 3 goals. So once you stop one of the supply there, if Robinson's not going to play, you just know all the attack is going to come from your right-hand side. So you a team, you do your homework to say, hey, we stop Trent on that side, we stop one of their biggest attacking threats. Liverpool midfielder has never been the creative guy. It's never been a creative guy. You will never see a Liverpool midfielder for the whole of last season give you 10 assists. Never. Go check the stat. None of them give 10 assists the whole season. None of the Liverpool midfield. So that's when, I don't know, 4th place for me with them.
Third?
Now, this you're probably not going to agree with me, but 3rd place is going to be Chelsea. 3rd place is going to be Chelsea. I mean, a lot of people are kind of just saying that, oh yeah, they're going to be the guys to give City the run for their money and stuff like that. And look, I feel like in order for Chelsea to even challenge for the league, they need like 5 players. Yeah, they won the Champions League, but the way their team is just set up for tournament football, not for league football. Years ago, they won with Conte playing that same system, but the Conte system was very different. They had proper goal scorer. They had a what do you call it? That guy was a Costa. He was an animal. They had Fabregas who was creating too for them left and right. They had a Kante there too that was just doing his job, everything too. They had a good fullback there. Moses was on lock, playing that kind of like fullback role. Like that squad was complete. And the defense too was very strong defense around that time too. They don't have all of that now. Their goalkeeper Mendy, he's going to be missing for the African Cup of Nations. And I feel like Kante always got an injury with him. Once Kante get injured too, that energy in their midfield literally died down. Juninho always have a mistake in him. Kovacic last season too, he was injured too. And they're going to get Lukaku. Lukaku is going to score goals. But my problem is not Lukaku. My problem is what is on the other side. Mount will not get you more than 10 Premier League goals. Pulisic, he's still trying to even figure out what he does there too. And then the other guy too, I think he got injured playing in the Super Cup too. So he's gone too. And then you go 1 or 2. He's just suffering from confidence too. Maybe play on the wings, we're gonna help him too and everything. But I just don't see them ready to challenge for the league. They're gonna do okay, but I don't know. I just don't see them challenging for the league. Yeah, it is gonna shock people it's gonna shock people how they're gonna be. They're gonna be out of the 30 race by Christmas.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Second spot.
Well, I'll give second spot to United. I give it to us, and that was. I won't even put it down to like the manager or anything. I just put it down to like the players. The way Ole is, really, his cagey tactics and not gonna commit to the attacking. It just like the way we play our football is like the manager give the players like a freedom. And right now, I feel like we got so much attacking talent that, on a day we will score any team. We will score any team. It's just a matter of like whether we can control the game or not. That's what I'm not quite sure yet. So, but I still think we're going to be in there in terms of like challenging for the league. But we're not going to be a match for City. We're just not going to be a match for City. They're going to be. I struggle with how we're going to do with the top 4 teams. That's where I feel like we are going to lose the race for the Premiership. I feel like we're going to be good with the smaller teams this year, but I struggle with how we're going to cope with the big games. Because now that he got attacking players, we can't really be going and playing like defensive football for the big games too. And Ole has always been good with the big games playing that defensive football too. But right now with the attacking talent that we got, it'll be hard for him to come up with that defensive formula to get the best out of like the top. Because if you want to win the league, you win the battle of the top 4. That's how you win the league, the battle of the top 4. I don't think we'll get enough points with the top 4 teams.
That's the thing, isn't it? I feel 2 seasons ago, was playing the counter-attacking football and was kind of smash and grab these top teams, but then we started trying to play them at their game last season, and we
couldn't do that.
There's a lot of draws in there, not necessarily like we got battered or anything, but there was a lot of like
draws, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it kind of hampered our progression, climbing up that table. So we didn't take advantage. I mean, even in those games, it's not to say that. I just felt in those games, I felt like we just needed that added bit of quality, and we could have potentially nicked it as well. Vice versa as well. I just remembered on a lot of those games thinking, we had that great opportunity. I remember opportunities maybe Martial had and stuff like that, where I was just thinking, do you know what? If we just tucked this in the net, it would have been a smash and grab. Yeah, we may not have deserved it, but we would have. So it's in a balance right now. Like you said, so it's in a balance. I'm still trying to see how, whether we've done enough to get us over that line in terms of, smash and grabs. We'll see.
Look, because for us, the reason why I don't think we're going to win the league is, for us to win the league, even Liverpool, for example, not when they won the league the previous season where they lost to City. But if you watch it, they were all winning their games. I think Liverpool won it with like 97 they lost at that time. I remember when the season that they won the Champions League, they lost the league and they came second with like 90 something points. And that was not enough to win the league that season. And that's how good, when City are good, that's how good they are. For you to win the league, you win it with like 90 something. See, and I don't see us getting that 90 points. I feel like last season we could have probably done, because a lot of the teams were just losing and everything. Once City hit gear, bro, they were gone.
Yeah.
For United to win it, we're probably gonna win it when everybody's having like one of those seasons where they are just having injuries or having problems, and we just gotta take advantage of it. But when everybody's on, bro, I'll make City my favorite, with Kane or without Kane, bro. With Kane or without Kane. The only way that City don't win the league, if they have an injury to one of their centre backs, that's to John Stones or to what they call it, Diaz. If this guy stay fit, they win the league, because midfield, they got enough depth in the midfield to cover for any injuries. Attacking, they got enough attacking power. Look, if Jesus get injured, Sterling will play first number 9 and he will still get goals. Grealish will play first number 9, he will still get goals. They got Mahrez there, he will get goals. Foden, he will get goals. So City are always going to score 100 plus goals. It's the back that's the problem. And right now, I feel like they've already got that sorted out. And if they stay injury from the back, bro, ain't nobody going to catch them.
Jeez. And obviously, I know you're number one because you've just spelled it out. So,
Right.
So for me, just to rush it through, because it's a tough one. When you go down to that six spot, it's crazy because although we saw what Villa done last season, we know that Villa last season they finished. Where is it? I'm just checking it now. They finished 11th, so they started off really good, and then they dovetailed.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that I know that Grealish was a big part of that as well because he was injured for a lot of that season, but because of the gap between Aston Villa, they were a team thinking that they'll be playing European football or even at one point breaking into top 4. But because they dovetailed so hard, and it's because Grealish is injured, I just feel like for me, they finished 11th. For me, I don't feel like they're even gonna get top 6 and now that their talisman is gone, I just feel like it's not. And I know that they done good.
And they also lost John Terry too. They lost John Terry too, so we don't even know how big of an influence that he was in the team too. So we'll see too. I forgot about that too.
They've done good business. Buendia, he got about 6-7 assists in the championship. He's a creative guy. They've got Leon Bailey as well from Bayern Leverkusen on one of these teams, and he's always been a talent. We've been
it's Ings. Bro, it's Ings that made that's the thing, bro. They got the Ings, they got that other Oli Wilkinson too. So, they got the powers there.
They've got guys, but like I said, and
the centre backs too. They got Mings, they got Twanzebe now too.
They got Twanzebe. But the thing is, like I said, with all of these guys, don't get me wrong, I feel like they're definitely going to climb at the table because of those signings. But I just don't see them getting the top 6 because you have to look at it like you've got teams like Arsenal. Yeah, they had bad seasons, but remember their season was bad, but they finished 8th. They climbed back up. The latter end, the experience kicked in, and everyone, they call them a mid-table club, and they're not rivals no more. But what you saw was them were almost closer to relegation than they were to top spot at one point. But what we do see is the experience kick in, and they claw back some points somehow, some way. And I just don't see Aston Villa finishing above them unless it was just a complete catastrophe. So for that reason, for 6th spot, I'm going to give it to Arsenal. The reason why I give it to Arsenal and not Tottenham, because of the Harry Kane factor. It would have been Tottenham's 6th spot, but I give it to Arsenal 6th spot because I could just see them getting that one midfielder that's going to help them progress, making that odd 2 signings, that's going to help them. I could see them getting 6th spot, but I could be wrong. Everyone's writing off Arsenal. It's ironic that everyone's writing them off, and I don't see them being a challenge for any Premier League or anything like that, but I can just see it. I can just see them getting 6th, so I'll give it to Arsenal. 5th spot is an interesting one. So 5th spot, I think I'm going to have to agree with you and give it to Leicester. For me, Leicester's always a team that's knocking on the door for Champions League. They'll be 2nd spot at times, they'll be 3rd, but then at the end of the season, they'll crash out. And for me, the summer transfer window was very important for Leicester. I see them do their business quite early, but I just don't feel like they brought in the right guys. They brought in Samari, another DM. They brought in Ryan Bertrand, the fullback, which is decent. And then they brought in Patson Daka, the attacker. He looked good in pre-season as well, but
he's gonna be key. I think, he's gonna be key.
And they got Iheanacho as well, who had a decent last season as well, had a good last season as well. So I don't know. I still feel like Daka's gonna be rotating with Iheanacho. Whoever just performs better will be partnering Vardy. I feel Vardy's gonna be mainstay. Depending on the injuries, we can see what happens, but I feel like Vardy's gonna still be the main man. But bringing in Bertrand, Daka, and Samari for me, unless Daka's amazing, doesn't feel like they're going to be breaking into top 4. I still feel like they need more, and especially because the other teams have strengthened so much. So for that reason, I'll give Leicester top 5. 5. 5th spot. 4th is where it starts to get interesting. So for 4th spot, I'll give it to Liverpool. I give it to Liverpool because I remember chatting to you and you raised the key point of African Cup of Nations. And we know that key men for Liverpool is Salah and Mane. They've got Keita as well and all of these other guys, that will be affected by African Cup of Nations. And I know that Liverpool, yes, I feel like they're going to start off really well. I feel like they're going to be racking off points. But when it comes to the crucial crunch time, injuries may kick in and everything like that, I feel like it isn't enough. If you look at the team, they strengthened, but they only brought in Konate from what I recall. Konate is a guy that doesn't really stay fit for the whole season. Like, he does have his injury niggle problems. They've got Van Dijk coming in, long out of injuries. I don't know how he's going to perform. I don't know how he's going to be again with Gomez and all of these things, long-term injuries. So for that reason, I just feel like, you know, their players are aging. You know, Salah, Mane's aging another year older, in another year older. I just don't know if they can cut it with that intensity. Thiago as well. I mean, they can bring in a midfield. I know they've been linked to Sam against. I know they've been linked to a few players, but for me, with the way how the other teams above them, not above them, but the other teams that finished above them, strengthened. For me, I'll just have to give them fourth. Third, this is just annoying. Third,
now I want to hear your third. I really want to hear this one.
This is mad, you know. It is proper mad. Because onto when Chelsea signed Lukaku, I was certified that Man United was finishing above them. Man United finished above them for the last 2 seasons now. It was like Tuchel came in, was the deciding factor, spun it around, got them higher up the table, pushed them up back to where they needed and won them Champions League. I'm sure if we did the maths, maybe the points tally would showcase how different he was to Lampard.
Di Matteo done the same thing too when he came. Di Matteo came there, Chelsea was like fifth or so. He got them Champions League, won the Champions League, and then the next season he was gone. Well, is the same factor too, but look, I watched them yesterday too in the Super Cup too. And you know what? Watching them play, it made me actually feel good about our game against Villarreal. Like Villarreal, when they actually walk in the park.
They did just
good.
Yeah. It was a deja vu.
They had more chances that game than they did against us.
It was deja vu. But the whole dynamics change when you've got a goal scorer, because you could have that Chelsea playing like that, looking rubbish, right? And then one chance crops up, and then Lukaku, like he does it for Belgium, like all the time. You see it. Like they can be playing crap, but Lukaku will get that one scruffy goal, put it in the net, and all of a sudden they've got a 1-0 and they're walking away. And you're just like, Chelsea don't actually look that great. They're not playing specifically well in a particular game, but Lukaku is just a guy that gets goals. And that's the thing.
Yeah, look, the finish, when it comes to, I always tell you, like, to win the league, you have to win the battle of the top 4. And then secondly, too, you have to win the battle of when you play the smaller teams too. Don't get me wrong, when it comes to the battle of the top 4, I feel like Chelsea are going to beat a lot of the teams, battle of the top 4. But when it comes to the Chelsea are going to lose a lot of points to the mid-table teams. And you're going to see against Crystal Palace, it's not going to be a walk in the park for them against Crystal Palace, because, bro, say what you want to say, but they play defensive. Playing 5 at the back is defensive. You know, you're going to get covered when you play the big teams, but when you play this smaller team, and that's why you've been the last game of the season, Aston Villa destroyed them. This is why Chelsea got the better of them too when Leicester got the better of them in the FA Cup too. Because when you play against this smaller team, you got to commit people forward. And when you play further back, you're not committing a lot of people forward. And the minute they start to commit people forward, they get exposed at the back. And I'm sorry, they have not signed any centre back to just one bit to say, hey, you know what? These guys are going to be stable. Because last season, I don't know if you watched their games, but Mendy was facing a lot of shots. He was facing a lot of shots. And that's why one of the things that he was so good, and people were raving on, because he was saving a lot. The shots were coming left and right. You know, I
feel like Chelsea, defensively, I feel like they're fine. I feel like I don't know Zuma. I don't know if he was linked to any club, Zuma, but I mean,
I think Zuma might go. They got this new guy. He is decent. Chimbonda or whatever his name is. I saw him in preseason. He was very quality.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, he was very quality. And even yesterday too, he played very good too. But once again, he's a small boy. He's gonna lose form. He ain't gonna be consistent the whole season. And then their wing backs too. They play well.
Chilwell and the thing is, right, is they can play at times. If guys get injured, they can even play a Hudson-Odoi if he remains at wing back.
He was playing. He played there yesterday anyway.
You know what I mean?
He played there yesterday.
For me, I feel like Chelsea's a solid team, but I do feel like I would give third spot to Chelsea, but I do feel like the majority of the season they'll be above us. Like over half the season, I feel like they'll be above us. I feel like we'll come back and claw it. The reason being, my assumption is that Cavani's level of fitness, to me, it's about who can we rely on up top? Who can we rely on that's going to get us them goals? It's going to be a concerted effort from the team to achieve those goals. We still got Martial, who were like, is he going to turn up? Sancho, were like, his first year in the season. Is he going to show up or is he going to need time to embed?
Oh, he's going to show up.
Then you've got Rashford. Rashford's out for a couple of months and just like, okay, he's gone. He's usually someone that gets you double figures. Then you've got, do you know what I mean? And then you've got Greenwood, who now needs to move in up striker and do that job, but he's really probably not going to play there because Martial is going to be swapped. Look, it's just, for me, there's too many uncertainties where you've got Chelsea, where I know that they've got certainty now. Before they had uncertainty where it was Havertz.
And what's their certainty though? What's Chelsea's certainty?
Well, their certainty is Lukaku. Lukaku's the certainty for me. He brings goals. And when I look at Man United, like before Lukaku, it was Havertz, uncertainty, Ziyech, whoever it is. Yeah, he's a good assister, but in terms of goals, it's like, who are they playing? Havertz or Werner? Uncertainty. Werner, the only certainty you know about Werner is that he's going to miss a few chances. I don't even know how many goals he scored.
So is Lukaku. Lukaku going to make a lot of player chances.
Score a lot of chances. With Man United, there's so much uncertainty. The only certainty I've got is Bruno, because I've seen 18 months of it.
See, I tend to differ though.
Huh?
You know, I tend to differ. I feel like attacking wise, we are better than Chelsea attacking wise. All our attackers combined, and Chelsea all attacking combined, we will outscore them.
No,
we will outscore Chelsea.
We have all of them back fit, right, together. I would say it's a different story. I still feel like we'll finish above them, but it's just like the season that we're going into now. Rashford's got his shoulder injury, right? He's gone.
He's going to come back late September, October.
Martial, I have no idea what
Chelsea. You know, Chelsea got injured too. They got Ziyech is injured.
Yeah.
Ziyech got injured.
He got a shoulder injury. But I'm saying, like, for me, if you have all of these guys back, I'm just like, okay, I'm comparing it now. I'm like, you know, Man United, we can do this thing. But for me, guys that we're dependent on is Greenwood, who's still iffy. Rashford's not there. Martial, who's iffy. Cavani's not going to start. He's going to miss a few games. And we just hope that he doesn't get injured. So there's so many anomalies, but I still feel like towards the end, we'll claw it back and finish above Chelsea. So for me, I've already given it away. So for me, I'm saying Liverpool's finishing fourth. Chelsea's finishing third. Man United's finishing second, and then going for City. The reason why I'm going for City first is because of this Kane deal, man. Do you know what? I was optimistic, right? Thinking, can we be challenging? Can we really be running? Because I feel like Man United and Chelsea is going to be really close. Like the gap is going to be really close, like how it was when we finished. I think we finished second, and they finished third or whatever. Right? It was close. Yeah,
12 points gap. Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be really, really close between Man United and Chelsea. However we finish, whatever order it is, I feel like it'd be a matter of no more than 3 points. But I could be wrong. But then I was thinking, you know, when City they let go of Aguero, they weakened, and they signed Grealish. So it's like, okay, you know what, maybe they can do it. I thought Man United was going to challenge them all the way. Because, you know, you let go of Aguero, you brought in Grealish. Yeah, but you still need that striker. And you know what? Maybe you got a way of playing without a striker before. It doesn't mean that story is going to be the same every single season. Maybe this season you're going to be wishing, damn, I do need a striker this time. Damn, like these guys are not putting in the goals that they did last season. The team's not cohesive as it was last season. I don't feel like, you know what I mean? It's like the Chelsea where everyone's like, oh, Chelsea really need a striker. They really need a striker. Yet this is the same team that won Champions League. This is the same team that, you know, bossed it quite comfortably.
Yeah, but Man City won the league last season without a striker. Aguero hardly played. He was injured the whole season.
I know, but it doesn't necessarily. So for me, I don't feel.
And they got Jesus. Who knows? Jesus is probably going to come and start banging goals left and right. You never know, bro.
When
you go a team that creates, and you go someone who consistently play, bro, they can get you a goal. Because if we are sitting here and the way City create a goals, if we can say Jesus can get 20 goals, then, bro, forget about Martial getting 20 goals then. Because they are going to create more chance for Jesus than Martial is going to get.
Pep doesn't really we saw how many times with Sterling playing that false nine, or De Bruyne even Ferran Torres. I don't really think, I like Gabriel Jesus. I feel like he's a top guy, but I don't know if he fits Pep's likings. So for that reason, I don't feel like he even be given an opportunity to be able to showcase how many goals he can get in a whole season, because he's just not going to get that game time. He's going to get rotated so many times.
I think it's safe to say that we both agree. I think what is going to be very interesting for both of us is the United and Chelsea battle, because it's more like the battle for the next big thing. Because City, we know they're going to run away with it, so it's just about who's going to give them a fight, and that's where the problem is. People are thinking Chelsea will push them. People are thinking like Man United, and we just don't know. But and I just don't feel like nobody can give them a fight. But I feel like United will just be the guys who probably keep them going until probably like December, January, where we just get one punch and just go to sleep. It's all depends on how we sort out like the Pogba deal. If the Pogba deal don't become a distraction, I think we're going to be okay. And also the goalkeeping situation too. You know, the earlier you sort those things out, and then the press stop focusing on this kind of like thing. Just let the press know that there is no news like here, and the only news that is here is that Man United are serious about challenging for the league. And until we saw that kind of a situation, these teams are always the media is always gonna have something to kind of like say. You know, when you have all those kind of like thing behind you, it just don't sit right. Like Liverpool, for example, I'll tell you, this season is gonna be dominated by whether Salah is gonna get a new contract or not. It's gonna dominate the whole papers too. City, it's always going to be the same every year with them. Champions League. That's all their focus is going to be. Champions League or quadruple. That's always what let them down. Us, if United, if only they sort out the Pogba situation, and we knew that, okay, Pogba is staying, or Pogba, like if we knew where Pogba stand, and we knew where the goalkeeping situation is, I feel like we would have probably pushed City all the way. But now, between now to January, everybody's going to be talking about Pogba. If Pogba don't make a team, it's going to be headlines. If he doesn't, it's going to be headlines, you know. So we're just going to just be our own enemy, personally.
I still feel like before we can be pushing Man City all the way, we just need a proper quality holding midfielder, and we need a striker, to be fair. I know Cavani's sick. He's still one of the best, but we need someone that we can rely on, that can play majority of our games, find no issues, and consistency. And until when we do that, and maybe it's next season where we're challenging like that truly, until then, I mean, I think we've kind of hit the ceiling. But before we wrap up, I wanted to raise a point with you. I read an article about, financial fair play. So apparently there's talk about, I think this is in a Time Sport, apparently they're reporting that financial fair play is going to be sort of reevaluated, potentially even scrapped. And what they're going to bring in is a salary cap. And I know a lot of the guys have been chatting about, salary caps and this, and you may see it in other sports and stuff. And they were talking about a salary cap or luxury tax next year. And I thought, do you know what? Maybe that's probably what's needed, because we've been seeing this quite a lot with financial fair play and teams. I don't know. I feel like it's creative accounting. I feel like, if you look at PSG, for example, PSG were able to bring in Messi. Messi is the guy that was on £1 million roughly at Barcelona. His salary leaked and you saw it. This is the same Messi that went to PSG. He's probably going to be getting close to that, if not that, at PSG. I heard his sign-on bonus or whatever like that was probably tens of millions. Let's say roughly like 20 million. They probably would have had to pay about 20, 30 million just to secure him with sorting out his agent and everything like that. And then you got his wages. It's a 100 million deal, people are saying, for that guy. A year. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got, is it a year? I don't know, but it's like 100 million, I think. And then you've got, and you know, people say, you know, his weight, the search cells will pay for itself and all of this malarkey. And I don't know what deals that these teams agree with these players and how much rights the player owns and how much this owns or whatever. But all I know is what people don't realize is that the longer the player like that stays at your club, yeah, you'll be successful, you'll be winning stuff, but the baseline of the team's wages will go up. Because yeah, he may be bringing enough money to cover his transfer deal or cover his wages, but what happens to the other players that's coming in and saying, you know, now I've seen Messi on X, Y, and Z. I don't deserve $1 million because I'm not Messi, but maybe instead of me asking for 200K, I want to try and ask for 300K now because the baseline average is going to just naturally increase. This is why we see Barcelona and you see guys like Griezmann on 600. This is why you see guys like Coutinho on like 400. Do you know what I mean? Because these guys are not faced with a Messi. They're not, their baseline, the maximum's not, the threshold's just too high. It's just too high. So I seen PSG now bringing Messi. They probably spent $1 million per week on him. I don't know if it's true or not. It won't be less than 500 because I know that's what he agreed at Barcelona before he left for a 5-year contract. But because the contract's shorter, I'm assuming it'll be more money with PSG because it's 2 years plus 1. So I would say probably, let's just say it's $1 million. Gini Wijnaldum is probably on 200. You know, that's $1 million too. Then you've got Donnarumma, who went on a free as well. That's probably like another 2, if I'm correct. I'm just throwing out numbers.
50 more, yeah.
You know, let's say yes, 1.4 now. So they brought in Gini, Donna, Messi. Who else did it? Hakimi. I don't know what he's on. Maybe, I don't know, 100. You know, that's probably at 1.5. Who else did they bring in? Have I missed someone? Or was that everyone?
Yeah, you missed
Hakimi.
Ramos. Big salary too.
Ramos will probably be on like 200 plus as well.
Big signing on fee too.
Do you know what I mean? Big signing on fee. So you're talking about PSG that took on wages of like 1.6 million. 1.6 million a week average, could be more. I'm just like, no financial fair play is going to come into this. They're going to walk away scot-free. So for me anyway, back to my point about the tax. What's your thoughts on this new proposal of a salary cap? Do you think like it's beneficial for the Premier League? Do you feel like it's going to have an impact? Do you feel like it's needed, or do you rather things stay the same as it is?
I don't know, but if I'm mistaken, I feel like there's already like a salary cap in place or whatever. I don't know. But to be honest with you, all these things, they're just not going to work. You know, it's just going to work. And even if it works, I feel like the punishment that comes with it is not great enough. These clubs are not scared of the punishment that comes with it. You know, City, if I'm not mistaken, like a few seasons ago, last season or so, they were talking about City getting banned from the Champions League because they financial dope, and then all of a sudden we just see City splash 100 million on Jack Grealish, and they're potentially going to spend another 100 and something million on Harry Kane, and then the summertime their manager was getting like, there's no way they're gonna be able to afford one player who's worth 100 million. Not only are they gonna go for one player who worth 100 million, they're gonna go for 2. You know, same thing with PSG too. You know, we're talking about, Neymar's on a big contract and Mbappe's on a big contract. So there's no way they can afford anyone else, and then boom, they go and sign Messi, which, by the way, from what I've been reading, apparently Barcelona just did not want to offer him nothing. You know, like people are making it seem like it's the La Liga, but they were actually relieved he was going. From what I heard, they did not want to sign up because the financial thing. I think what it is before the new president, he thought was going to be done, but when he went there, he saw like how much debt that they got. He just knew that Messi deal was going to be impossible to do, and I feel like in a way they were more like relief, because if it's just so right, they didn't even put up a fight to keep him. They just didn't. So they just kind of like let him go, and it just shows you if you mismanage money, how much it will come back and bite you too. Like clubs like Aston Villa, for example, they got to be careful. They are spending all this money, but they obviously got a Jack Grealish money, so that should help them too. But I don't know. I don't think PSG are scared of like whatever is going to happen. They know they're not going to get banned from no Champions League or French League or whatever is going to happen. Yeah, the worst thing is they're going to slap them for a fine. What, 5 million fine? Just like how City pay? Well, what's 5 million to them? They're going to play, you know. And I feel like this season is between Qatar and what do you call it? The Qatar, because obviously they were owned by Qatar now, but I don't know who Man City are owned by. Man City are owned by who again?
Qatar and what do you mean they're sponsors or?
No, where are they from? Their owners are from. I don't know where their owners are from, but
they like Saudis and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Saudis. So from what I've been hearing, actually, I don't think they're Saudi. They're from a different country, but from what I've heard, it's kind of like obviously this is going to be the last Champions League before Qatar hosts the World Cup, and they really, really want to win the Champions League. And obviously, Qatar is owned by what they call it PSG. So that's how they're doing everything possible to win the thing. And obviously, Man City owners too, they want to win. I feel like they are from the UAE or the Dubai side. I'm not quite sure where they are from, but so it's just a big kind of like thing between like those two teams. So, but they're gonna throw money at the Poland. That thing is not going away. No financial thing. And one thing too is these guys, you give them a fine, say, hey, I banned you. They got great lawyers. That this UEFA or any board can afford. You know, Super League is still in place. Them man lost in court, bruv. They lost in court, you know. So if these Premier League teams, if they stick around, they could have won the case in court, and they could have officially been doing Super League because the case went to court, and Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus did not get jacked. The court said that they are allowed to do whatever they want to do, so it didn't affect them. So tell me, if they can just do Super League and get away with it, what make you feel like they can do anything with financial fair play? They got lawyers to beat anything, that any rule that these people play. Rules, that's what these people are. They are there to just break the rules. So boy, that is never going to change, bro. That is never going to change.
They just got guys on payroll, man.
They got figure out even with look at Messi contract, for example. He was earning something. First of all, they said he took a 50% pay cut. But then what they were trying to do is they were trying to give him a 5-year contract. But then he was supposed to play for 2. So even when he was retired, he was still going to get paid for, because they were trying to find a way around it, because legally you cannot reduce someone's salary by more than 50%. If not, they would have just given him some small wages and given like bonuses and all those kind of things that they want to give him to him. But there's always a way around this kind of thing. If you put a salary cap, what they're going to say is, okay, his salary is going to be like this, but his bonuses, because bonuses don't count as salaries. You know, it's just like when you get paid, but your bonuses are never taxed. Your salary, your wages are taxed, but your bonuses are never taxed. So when you get a wage, it's like, hey, and that's what a lot of the big companies do. Oh yeah, this is my bonus, so they don't tax it. So they're going to find a way around it. But the whole football needed Messi. If PSG could not afford Messi, who was going to afford Messi? You know, because obviously this whole, so in a way, football needed Messi, you know, but it just shows you the way this kind of like clubs are doing with something need to happen, because in a way, like this Messi situation could have gone very bad. Imagine there was no club like PSG who got stupid money. Who could have signed Messi? Who really could have signed Messi? I mean, maybe someone could have, but I don't know. But now they're talking about PSG need to sign players in order to balance the book. Let's see if they manage to do that. I still don't think they're favored to win the Champions League, though. I know I had this discussion with you, but I don't see them as favorite.
Look, I see them knocking on the door for the last 2 years. They got to the final. Not to the final, they got to the semi, because it was City and Chelsea in the final, right? They're knocking on the door, and I just feel like when you've added so much quality, I mean, they've got the muscle in the midfield now with Gini, and they've got Marquinhos as well, who can go back in midfield and just play a good role. Defensively, I feel like they'll be sound. They've got Ramos there. They've got Donnarumma, who's a really good goalkeeper, very young. I feel like it's not just Messi. I feel like the collection of players that they brought into their squad, Hakimi as well, very attacking fullback, one of the best, I thought was amazing. It's the collection that they brought together. And it's more so about Marquinhos being able to beef up the midfield alongside Gini, who's just an engine. and then you have Sergio Ramos. Yeah, he may not stay fit for the whole season, but they can work around that. They still got Kimpembe. Marquinhos can come back, centre back. Like, they've got options now. And when I've looked at PSG, I've always looked at them, especially in the final stages, latter stages of the Champions League, and I feel like they just needed enough. It's like it's like Neymar. I just visualize Neymar always trying to do well, but always being by himself because one guy, Mbappe's not around or something like that. Is not, just the quality's not there. But now what they've done now is said, you know what? If Mbappe's not around, you've got Neymar and Messi. If Neymar's not around, you've got Messi and Mbappe, and just the vice versa, and not forgetting Di Maria and all of these guys. I just feel like, for me, they're definitely going to be in finals. For me, it's just, I'll be very surprised. I'll probably stop vlogging if they're not in finals. And
you might then. They're going
to be in finals. They have to be in finals, and I feel like who would be? It's just the question is who's going to be there with them. Is it going to be City now with Kane? They've got Kane now.
I hear what you're saying, but me, this is why I feel like Kane might not work for them. Like, one, like when you get all this kind of like started, the ego starts going to be there. I remember when Tuchel won the Champions League with Chelsea, he was talking about when some certain players got an ego and they don't want to kind of like listen and stuff like that. Then PSG players, they get their way. One thing about having a star quality team is you got to have the manager to just do the part. Poch is one of the guys too that he don't strike me as a guy that do well with superstars, and it shows like last season the way they got dismantled by City in that semi-finals. That was just poor. Like, if you watch that game, you just gonna know that that's poor. Yeah, Messi's coming in. Messi's 34. He's gonna do. I gonna know that he's gonna score, but we don't know what kind of like hunger he's gonna bring. At Barcelona, he was the guy everybody goes to, Mr. Make Magic Happen.
He's gonna kill it, bro. And he's
gonna kill in the French league because the French league is just there. But I just don't know. Where are you gonna play him? What kind of freedom is he gonna get? And you are with Mbappe. Mbappe, from what I heard from the French squad too, he is starting to develop this attitude problem. All these guys want to be the main guy. If you think Mbappe go 1-on-1, if you think he's gonna slide it there for Messi to score, he's gonna score it too. It's just about managing the egos. What starting lineup do you even play? How they gonna blend all these players in without people finding their right spaces and without everybody? I just don't know. You got Ramos there too, and then but Neymar has never completed a full season without injuries. Never done that. Ramos always get injured too. So let's just say you go a quarterfinal game against, let's just say, Liverpool, and then you go Ramos injured. You go Neymar injured. All of a sudden, the squad look thingy. Di Maria is too old. I don't know. The squad is good, but it's a very aging squad. It is a very aging squad. Neymar is 29,
Bro, don't worry about that.
Verratti too. Midfield, he's always getting injured too.
Don't worry.
Always getting injured.
I'm telling you. Too much talent. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be up front. The front three is going to be, or unless Messi's sitting in the hole, it's going to be.
Exactly.
And back,
you don't even know where he's playing now.
Messi and Neymar. That's going to be a front three. Spin it however you want, but that's going to be a front three. Di Maria may come in at points, or unless they do Di Maria, Mbappe, and Neymar as a front three, and Messi sitting in behind in the hole, the number sort of 10 position. And then in the midfield, the two DMs, it could be Marquinhos and it could be Gini, or it could be Marquinhos and another DM. I think Gini's going to play a lot of games, to be fair. I think he's going to be a starter. And then, Kimpembe, and look, this team is anyway, I hope
the team is good. I'm telling you, one of these English clubs will knock them out. It is tournament football, Tournament football is not league football. On the 38 games, but they're probably going to make it in the French league. No doubt. No one's going to match them. But on a tournament football, you come and we play Chelsea. Chelsea play this free at the back. They got Kante to run the midfield there. And they got attackers to head you two on their day too. City can head them over too. Well, this is tournament football. So I'm just telling you, when it is a two-leg game, I wouldn't even put it past United. United can be solid defensively. United can go and get clinched against this PSG team. We've done it before.
Why not? Look, I'm about that smoke. Look, Man United are strengthened significantly. I'm optimistic, man, on all fronts. I'm optimistic, man. I really am. So hopefully we can pull up a result. But you know what? We've talked at length, and you know what? At the end of the day, the season's around the corner, isn't it? So
it is around the corner.
And we'll be here with all of you guys, game in, game out, when it comes to Manchester United anyway. I'm just going to give you our thoughts, opinions, man, share the vibes. And you know what? I ain't going to lie, man. I might have to do a video on PSG as well, because when you see something so iconic and the Avengers assemble like they have, we're living in history, man. This is FIFA. This is Pro Evolution. This is everything.
Right. I know for sure everybody's going to be watching PSG this weekend. Everybody's going to watch them this weekend. That's for sure. I'll probably watch their first game to see Messi play. After that, I ain't even going to watch them again.
You know what I mean? So we're here for it, man. We'll stay tuned. But you know what? It was nice chatting to you, NK. Guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at 99banter, TikTok at 99banterroom, all one word, and Instagram at OT99_banterroom. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and support the team. We're out.